I am Lorenzo Degan. I am an associate Salesforce consultant at Cognizant. My first encounter with Salesforce was at my very first job. I was being a sort of a Swiss knife working on different applications of different vendors, and Salesforce was one of them. It was the internal CRM on which my company was tracking clients, opportunities, and projects, and it was still on classic interface. I was one of the AMS administrators on Sales Cloud. I mean, it was like my first job, but I really enjoyed working on the platform on Salesforce. After some time, I finally had the chance to work on Salesforce for an external client, and that felt like a second start. I feel like that's the very start of my, let's say, Salesforce journey. It felt right, and I felt compelled to try and earn the administrator certification. That was my goal. I managed to stay motivated with the help of my girlfriend, who's also as a Salesforce professional, that was telling me about better career prospects and etc. I would say the admin cert because it was the first. The first is always the hardest. But yeah, many notions were kind of new for me, and I was studying mostly in my free time. So it was a bit tiring and stressful. I did not know what to expect from the exam, but fortunately, I had Focus on Force to help me on that with the guide and especially the practice exams. So yeah, Builder felt easier, and I hope it keeps on getting easier. It depends. It really depends on what you're working when approaching the admin cert. Because of course, being the first certification and being, let's say, an entry-level certification, it has a very wide range of topics. If I had to find, let's say, the most important ones, I would be for sure the data model, so all the relationships between the objects and such, and the security aspects of the platform. Yeah, I would say these two topics. Definitely yes, because as I've said, back then I was not working only on Salesforce, and my job, my time on Salesforce was kind of limited. So studying for administrator certification already helped me a lot expanding my knowledge, and updating it was the confirmation that I was on the right path. And I think that after obtaining it, that was the time I decided I wanted to work 100% on Salesforce. So it certainly affected my career in a positive way since it helped me finding the job I am at now at Cognizant, on which I am 100% on Salesforce, and I'm a Salesforce consultant. I am a Salesforce consultant on AMS. AMS is kind of unpredictable. But let's say that around 9 a.m., there is the first stand-up meeting in which we report on the tasks we have been working on and what is the plan of the day. The rest of the morning usually is devoted to analyzing, debugging, or working on new enhancements, unless there is a more urgent issue to address. After lunch break, if the task is completed, I try to squeeze in some studying, most of the times on Focus on Force, studying about what I'm working on or to prepare for a future certification. Later in the afternoon, there is another team meeting in preparation of the client meeting that follows and that, let's say, closes, ends the workday. So if there are still no urgencies, my workday ends usually shortly after 6 p.m. I would say yes, because Salesforce is a platform that is widely used, especially abroad. I think English is crucial because after all it's the most used language in the work environment. So if one wants to, for example, work abroad and have better prospects abroad about work, I think, yeah, I warmly recommend having at least a basic knowledge of English. I used Focus on Force for both my certifications, so I used it for my admin and for the app builder too. I have already purchased the guide for my next certification, at least what I hope is going to be my next, the advanced administrator. And I'm planning even to earn the Sales Cloud. I'm trying to focus on the functional side of Salesforce. So yeah, I plan to use Focus on Force for all of these because Focus on Force, I think it's very helpful. My advice would be to use both Trailhead and Focus on Force. If Trailhead is the course book, then Focus on Force guides are like the lecture notes because they give you insight about the small details and notions that usually you're gonna end up finding at the actual exam. Furthermore, Focus on Force offers nice slides to help you visualize important concepts and practice exams to familiarize with the exam topics. Of course, the questions are not going to be the same, but the topics and the subjects usually are very similar, the logic behind them.